listening to the most badass hockey podcast in all the known land. This is A Shot from the Point.
Coming at you on demand from the heart of Europe. Yes, this is the most badass hockey podcast in the known man's land. And on top of that, we will have, in a few minutes, Jersey Jason Lech coming from Dirty Raw Way, New Jersey. I just want to start off. Thank you very much. If you listened last year to A Shot from the Point, I got back into this really from some encouragement on my Facebook friends because I didn't think anybody but me and Dave listened to it. And we're going to give it one more shot and see how it goes. I don't care if you listen or not because we had a hell of a good time doing it last year. And I think some of the reasons that I didn't want to do it was because the lockout really threw me. And I really wasn't interested in bashing Bettman or figuring out who's right or who's wrong or somewhere in between. I just wanted to watch hockey. And when they took that away from me, and I say they as I guess the powers that be or some conspiracy theory or what have you. When I say that, I mean, if these guys can't get their act together, why should I give them my money? I didn't talk to them. I'm quite proud of that. And here we are. So we are here for another season of the NHL. I'm absolutely excited about it. I've got my mojo back, and I'm ready to go. I have a new host. Normally, you're used to listening to Mr. Dead on Dave. But Dead on Dave is taking a leave of absence because only, he is actually working on a new sports show that I'm sure we'll be plugging here very, very soon in the future. I don't even want to give the name away because it's going to be pretty good. And I'd really happy to have on the show for the first time, long-time listener, first-time caller, old childhood friend, Jersey Jason Lech. Jersey, how you doing, baby?
I'm all right. Hockey's back, and I'm enjoying it.
You're enjoying it, and I
am.
I got to be honest with you. I am too. I just didn't want to go through the headache of another 2004, 2005 season. I don't want to deal with the 95 season. And I know where it was going, and there was either going to be a season if it wasn't, and I was going to decide. And basically, the only reason I'm back is because my girlfriend actually bought a game center for me. So other than that, I'd probably be doing something else. Yeah, I'd probably be doing something along those lines. How you doing?
I came crawling back immediately.
You did. I never got the impression you weren't coming back.
No, I took to Twitter as soon as the lockout started and trashed Bettman, and
Did it help
the league and everything? No, not at all. But
did you feel better afterwards?
Kept me sane to myself anyway, not to the people following me on Twitter.
Yeah,
to them I was slowly losing my mind.
I got to ask you something though. Am I the only? And I realized throughout my Army career, I had to drift for other reasons. Am I the only hockey fan that you heard of that kind of had? I know I think I kind of had a unique opinion or unique take on the whole situation. Did you hear anybody in the Twitter sphere that kind of echoed my sentiments?
What? Just don't come back?
Yeah.
Yeah. The closest thing to that, because I've heard people saying that they were done, and that's it. They can't take. It's like, well, where are you going? Really? You're a hockey fan. You're not a fan of any other sport. You're gonna start watching other sports now?
No.
But no, the closest thing I ever heard to that was Bob McKenzie tweeted this video. These fans had this thing where, however many games after I think December 23rd, that were missed, they were going to miss that many games, and they weren't watching games on television. They weren't buying any products. They weren't going to games and pretty much boycotting the league.
And I honestly
having no part in that.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I honestly believe that was the best way to deal with it. I had a dual purpose. I wanted hockey back for absolutely sure. I certainly wanted hockey back. I wanted to do the show. I wanted to, bust people's balls on Facebook and what have you. But I think I believed if you turned your backs, these guys would not be in a position to kind of hold out. Yeah. I really believe if they were willing to lose the season, which I still believe that the owners and the players were willing to lose the season. If they were willing to lose the season, they don't need us. They don't need us to go buy stuff. That means they probably put a bunch of enough money away to either break, either the players union or the owners. And I figured this is the best way to do it. This is the best way to go about it. Don't buy it. And that was my my first opinion, which leads us into our first NHL story. Associated Press reports that the NHL returns with strong TV ratings, so that virtually guarantees a lockout in 8 years. Thankfully, we won't be having the Winter Classic and things like that. But get this, according to this article, the network said Sunday its regional coverage of the Blackhawks, Kings, and Penguins Flyers averaged a 2.0 rating. Now that doesn't sound like much to a baseball or football or basketball fan, but that's huge numbers for NHL hockey.
I don't know what any of it means. Now, when it comes to rating, I have no idea. Again, watch the sport. Huge fan of the sport. The business side, I cannot stand it. Ratings, don't know anything about them.
Yeah, it's funny, but I mean, don't you honestly believe that if if the ratings are better, the sport would grow, maybe even get better? Or do you look at it like I look at it, that hockey's like a really great indie band, indie record band?
Yeah, it's a cult sport in the United States, and it always will be. That's why it's, if you notice, the hipsters in the United States kind of take to hockey, whereas the hipsters in Canada, they kind of reject hockey. I think if I lived in Canada, well, I don't know, because it's a great sport. I was going to say, the way football is rammed down our throats in the United States, I can't stand football. Like, I hate everything about it. I hate the NFL culture. I think the game is boring. There's 11 minutes. They've done studies, 11 minutes of actual action in these games. And it's a snooze fest.
By the way, Dead on Dave is throwing rocks at his freaking computer right now, because your unfair and mean statement towards the absolutely boring NFL, which is exactly I couldn't agree. I could not agree with you more. I mean, look, go ahead.
No, it's the players, just the attitude of these guys, and the things, the way we worship these high school players. Not to get too off topic, but there's this story in Ohio about these players, like, I guess, drugged and raped some girl, and then the half the town is defending these guys, saying that they're just trying to take down our football program. Well, fuck you and your fucking football program.
Yeah, I know. And I wouldn't say that hockey's any stranger to that kind of stuff. And from what I understand, stuff like that goes on in Canada all the time with hockey players. But you certainly don't hear about it as much. And right. You don't hear about players throwing. I've yet to see a guy throw gang signs.
Well, here you don't.
Yeah, well, I've yet to see a guy.
I don't hear about anything with hockey.
I've yet to see a guy throw gang signs in a San Jose Sharks game. Yeah, right. I have seen a Jets game.
It's hockey players are a different breed. I think hockey fans are different too. Like, just getting back to what you were talking about with the fans coming back, they're gonna come back because we're insanely loyal. Like,
and there's nowhere else to go.
No.
Yeah, it's like listening to an indie rock band. And they're really into that band, and as soon as they go, as soon as you hear them on like your major radio station, it sucks. And I do get this feeling that, if the NHL gets too popular, you could forget fighting. It's gone. It's gone forever. You're absolutely never going to see it again. There's going to be so much. I mean, Barack Obama just said yesterday that he would have to think long and hard before he would allow his son to play football.
Yeah.
And, you got a president that says something like that, that's going to have an impact. Barack Obama would never say anything like that about the NHL, even if he felt that way, because nobody cares about the NHL. It does seem to be this kind of sort of cult following. And
it's kind of outspoken with hockey. I as much as I dislike Obama, I'm trying to think if he had a.
I don't think he ever said anything about hockey.
Oh yeah, no. He went on some shows. I don't watch too much of that crap, but talking about the lockout and time to end the lockout, and he might be the most pro hockey president we've had.
Are you kidding me? Did he? I totally missed this.
It was actually on TSN. Yeah.
He's the most pro hockey, where the Canadians just sucking up to his ass.
That might be it.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't so well received when he came over here to Europe and tried to shove the Olympics down everybody's throat. They sent him back unceremoniously. It was one of the funniest moments in the president's history. Hey, they'll give us the Olympics. I speak real well.
Yeah, right.
real well. You speak better than me. I speak, and that didn't. I remember. I'll never forget the look on him and his wife's face when they were walking back. That was, I mean, that was a long walk home.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, I mean, getting back on topic.
Don't say no to a liberal.
No. No. Uh, the problem I see with the ratings return is they know we're suckers. They know we're
Yep.
coming back. You showed it to them. They probably earned all the money back they lost, and they're not going to stop doing this. So just guarantee a lockout.
No, I knew it was coming this last time. I've
Yeah.
been preparing for it for a few years. And,
Did you like pack stuff away? I mean, did you
I
dig up old tapes or?
I wish I had. I don't have a VCR, but I would have been watching all my old VHS tapes.
Like
But
game 6, 1992.
I do have some stuff on iTunes. I've purchased a couple old Kings games, old Rangers games.
Can you? I didn't know you could do that. You can purchase.
Yeah,
How much are they?
usually $1.99.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Fucking fascinating. Beautiful.
Gretzky's hat trick with the against the Leafs in the conference finals. And
Is there any chance if you just like typed Gretzky games, went to YouTube, hit long over 20 minutes, you might find it for free? Or
I don't know.
there's a few full games on there for free, but
Are there?
well, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'd be cursing myself. The NHL is very liberal about YouTube usage, and they don't.
Yeah.
And I really love that. I mean,
It's a
they
smart thing
know.
for that.
Well, the thing is, they know that I've used some of their stuff, and I just get a little note. We know you're using it. It's okay, but we know.
It's a smart idea. I mean, what's going to happen to that?
I know. I mean, what can I do? I mean, I suppose I could use it to promote my show and try to get money, but I mean, I don't see really that happening anytime soon. And if I started getting money, I'm pretty sure that I could recover in a way where I wouldn't need it. So, or maybe buy it. Who knows? So I mean, I really, if I play NHL clips on a shot from the point, either the rants or the podcast, I pretty much think that I'm promoting the game. I mean, it's just like a free commercial to them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, I would think I'm surprised Major League Baseball and the NFL. The NFL's the worst. You can't play a damn thing. But
Their money.
yes, but the NHL, I get a little note saying we know in my mailbox, and I don't think I can get like that. Doesn't work for my AdSense or something like that, which I'm not really interested in at this point. But yeah, they don't really seem to care. Let's get off this topic and moved on to another brilliant topic. Let me ask you something. Should the NHL contract some franchises?
What do you mean?
In other words, there is no more Lightning. There's no more Panthers. They are now one team.
Oh, definitely. I'm all for less franchises.
I
mean, players wouldn't like that. Obviously, it's going to be less jobs
Sure.
out there for them.
and the union's designed to protect jobs.
Yeah.
But the thing is, one of the things I like about it that would help the players is you wouldn't be able to make the small market argument every time you go to a CBA.
We can't really make that anyway. Look at Dallas.
Yeah,
Right.
I suppose they're not a small market at all. I mean, they've been a real success. But other teams like
No,
Florida,
the thing is, apparently Dallas, they don't sell out every game. They're, I think last year, I forget what their attendance was last year, but it wasn't that impressive.
you think it's because Madonna's gone?
It might be. I mean,
But I mean, they were a success story. They were like an oddball market success story for a long time.
I mean, look at Carolina. They were writing articles. The newspapers down there making fun of hockey, saying how we're a tractor and lawn cutting community. We're not gonna embrace hockey, and
Sure.
Caniacs are
Yeah.
a dedicated bunch down
And
there.
they have 2 cup showings in the last 12 years or 13 years, if I'm not mistaken, and 1 win, if I'm correct. So yeah, I mean, it can happen, but I mean, if you really think about, when we first met, like the first major expansion after like the major expansion of the early 70s was the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah.
And then you got you had Ottawa and Lightning coming in shortly after that. And I remember I was kind of excited about it at the time, but looking back, I think it was a huge mistake. One, it gives these owners a reason to go to lockout and say, hey, we have to feed these other franchises. It just seems to be just an endless. You take the issue, if you contract the team, you take the issues from a fan's point of view. You're losing a team that nobody cares about, that nobody wants to see, and you're making the depth better, which the hockey will add up. I don't see a problem with it whatsoever. In fact, I'm just sick to death of the owners using the issue, and I'd like to see. I don't know if you cannot support your team. I don't know. Just move to Hartford. Talk to those poor schmucks.
I was gonna say they've taken teams away from us that a lot of fans actually still miss and care about, like the Whale or the
Yeah.
Whalers.
Nobody went to the Whale games. The only people I feel sorry for are those poor people in Minnesota.
Oh God!
Can you imagine that?
Green, what a prick!
A Scandinavian area. This is where Scandinavian Americans live. They support this team from day friggin' one. They have a Stanley Cup run the year before, only losing to the great Pittsburgh Penguins in 1992. And they moved the goddamn team.
Yeah.
That was
made
the
no
biggest
sense.
travesty. And Batman's sitting there, supporting and saying how great it'll be and what have you. And they're moving it to Texas. Now, short term, it did seem to be a success. People were really into it. And they inherited a fantastic team.
Can you imagine being a fan of the Whalers, a fan of the Nordiques, and a fan of the Minnesota North Stars, and all three of these fucking teams move and go on to win Stanley Cups?
Yeah.
Oh God.
The only thing worse
the
only thing worse than that is being a friggin' Flyers fan when the only team that was involved in the Lindros team didn't win a cup. The Lindros deal didn't win a cup.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite things. He's my absolute favorite hockey player of all time.
Oh yeah.
Eric Lindros is the greatest hockey player that ever lived. Barack Obama is the greatest president that ever lived, and they're kind of alike. They're high round draft picks that didn't really come through in the clutch.
Yeah, definitely.
I had to give that to a friend of mine. I think the response was, "But his teammates, the Senators." Well, no, they're not his teammates. No. That's like saying Jaromir Jagr was your teammate when he's playing for Pittsburgh, douchebag.
I'll tell you though. What's called the what the heck was I gonna say? I was gonna say something and I lost it. So.
Yeah, it's fine with me. I don't know. You dropping knowledge even though you didn't go to college. So I mean, I can only expect that you might. I can only expect so much. I mean, you're dropping serious NHL knowledge on us all, yo. Hey, don't sweat it, buddy. Let me ask you something. Now that we're on that, are you nervous? Be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you still nervous? Like we're like I think we're like 10 minutes. Geez, we're 10 minutes in already.
I am definitely nervous that your two Rangers obsessed devil trolls are gonna listen to this.
Yeah.
They're gonna pick my little, my whatever I'm saying apart.
Yeah.
The fact that I didn't remember what I was gonna say just a minute ago. They're gonna be all over that.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
I lose sleep. I'm take it out on my wife and my daughter.
Will you kick your dog?
It's already done.
You kick your dog? Because you have like.
Oh, hey, no, good. Hey, you just brought that up. That was from a Cam Neely commercial, and I was going to say what you want about Lindros.
Yeah.
But he's in the Hall of Fame because of Cam Neely. If Cam Neely's in the Hall of Fame, you cannot deny Eric Lindros.
Oh my God.
Being in the Hall of Fame.
But you know that Cam Neely was a much better player than him. Don't tell me that. Lindros is not going to the Hall of Fame.
I hate Cam Neely.
Really?
Oh, he's definitely going to the Hall of Fame. He's already got a trip to he's got his one trip to the finals. Neely had two. He's got a trip to the finals. He's had a 100-point season, and what was he? He's got a Hart Trophy.
Yeah, and
Neely never had a 100-point.
Yeah,
season.
and that year, go look at that Hart Trophy. Check Yager's stats and tell me if he deserved that.
Shit pants about that. You remember that?
Oh, I remember that clearly, and I'm still angry about it. So,
Yager.
Me and Jay agree.
A couple years ago too, Thornton won it.
Did you kick your dog really though?
No, I've never.
You've never
kicked an animal. Are you kidding?
I don't know. See, I don't know if you could kick your dog because apparently you have like 15 dachshunds running around your legs right now.
Just one.
No, you have like nobody has one dachshund. I had his ex-girlfriend. She had like 15 of them, and
my wife.
What? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say she has two more, but they're at her parents' house.
Yeah.
We don't get those.
Yeah, they're like herds.
Yeah.
And they sound. I mean, I had like, I remember I had a Irish setter and a collie. And I've never heard a freaking racket. Like how much they weigh? What, 10 pounds? I've
Gosh.
never heard more racket from a 10-pound dog in my life.
Yeah.
10. I had this ex-girlfriend.
Her
She had him, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, this is really great. She had him. And I guess she's still living with her parents, but we're in our early 20s, and she's still living with her parents. And she goes, I just want to let you know that I live with my mom, and she has a few dogs. I'm like, I love dogs, right? So we climb through her window, and I'm immediately I get down. I hear a yelp because I stepped on one of them, and God, I know you know how sensitive their backs are, because
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I stepped on one of them, and I'm like, oh my God! I go down, and I'm completely covered with slobber and spit and climbing. I don't know what. I mean, I thought I was like in that movie Alien. I mean, it was the most bizarre thing in the world, and I know you love your dachshunds, but just keep it down to one, buddy. And
I will.
yeah, keep it down to
I'm
one.
gonna do my
I
best.
don't, I don't, I don't want them. That'd be really funny. You always hear those pet collector stories when they have like 59 cats. I
Oh,
would love to hear like 230 dachshunds pulled out of some old lady's house. That would be fantastic.
throwing them at people.
Yeah, just no kidding. Just don't touch
Is there
them.
a character on the Simpsons? She throws cats at people.
Is it? I haven't seen The Simpsons in years.
Uh,
I saw the first Simpsons episode in about 5 years.
One thing I'll guarantee you: The Simpsons is not as funny as it used to be, and it's still funnier than Family Guy.
It's horrible. Simpsons really needs to go. They're like Muhammad Ali when they won his third title. It's like, hey, good job, you won your third title, but you really need to pack it in. You know. Mike Ruzioni is selling his 1980 hockey jersey from the very famous Miracle on Ice 1980 World Cup hockey jersey. Before I read the article, is he hard up?
Yeah, must be. I mean, are you selling that?
I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, how could you sell that thing? Oh no, I just want to get rid of it and share it for 10 grand.
Kids love that.
Oh, jeez. Mike Ruzioni's sensational winning goal against the Soviet hockey team in 1980 Winter Olympics will forever be remembered as a miracle on ice, perhaps the greatest sporting moment of the 20th century. More than a generation later, the 58-year-old Ruzioni is parting ways with iconic 21 jersey, a hockey stick, and Olympic paraphernalia. The Dallas-based Heritage Auction is selling the items in New York, February 23rd, the day after the 33rd anniversary of the historic game. The white jersey alone is expected to fetch more than $1 million.
Oh my God. I would sell it too then. Never mind.
Yeah, who needs that shit? Probably stinks.
Yeah.
Anybody ever have hockey equipment sit in a friggin' bag for a couple of weeks?
God.
There's nothing like it.
God.
I would call it piss, but I'd be giving piss a bad name.
It's so true.
I don't know. I've never
horrible.
pissed on my hockey equipment, not once in my life. But no matter where it is or how many times I wash it, it smells like piss.
It's disgusting.
There is nothing worse than hockey equipment smell. So maybe it just smells bad, and I hope it does. That'd be kind of funny. I'm skimming this article, and it's talking about the Soviets and and this and that, what they overcame. It doesn't say anything whether he's hard up or not, which is the only interesting story. I mean, who does?
I mean, $1 million?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe give it to your kids, unless they're no damn good.
I think I'd tell my dad go for the $1 million.
You think it takes so?
Now that I found out it's $1 million,
He technically could be our father's age. I mean, it'd be kind of close. Yeah, no, he could be our father's age. So he was like 22 when that happened. That's not impossible. So he could be our dad's age.
Hey, who knows? I mean, these kids might have been tired of seeing that damn thing.
Yeah.
He might bring it out every holiday. He gets a little drunk. Dad's bringing out the jersey again.
Oh shit! Hey, just go with it and nod your head.
Yeah.
Did you know I scored a go-ahead goal against the Soviet Union in 1980? Oh,
I
Dad,
that.
I didn't know that. Can you tell me the story?
Bring your girlfriend over.
Yeah. Okay, come on. Just follow me out the door. Follow me. Okay. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, he's gonna talk about the goddamn jersey again. Yeah. Just nod your head.
He starts crying when he talks about Herb Brooks.
That's horrible. Herbie Brooks. We didn't like him back in those days, but he was a good guy, and I miss him to death. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us making fun of Herb Brooks? That guy died in a horrible car wreck. What's the matter with you?
Yeah, he's a range.
He even missed that horrible movie Disney made. Can you believe that?
Yeah. That, that movie made me cry.
Did it really? How many? I'm gonna give you an
yeah,
out. I'm gonna give you an out. How many drinks?
Not. Oh yeah, whole case.
You don't have to be that honest. It's really it's radio. You know, you just
That
go with it.
hockey does that to me. Though.
God, who does?
I'm sure.
You know, and I could say something racist, like Eruzione. You know, maybe he owes. You know, maybe he didn't get that promotion to captain like he was expecting. You know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that one goes out to you, Marabella. Um, he'll never listen anyway. Yeah. So
As soon as I mocked liberals, he turned it off.
yeah. I don't know. Okay, you can say you're probably blocked. You're blocked. You're blocked. You know, that would be cool if every time you got blocked on Facebook, like this big thing came up, like sort of like game over in like an old ladies video game. It's just, you're blocked.
Did he block me?
I don't know. I'm probably not.
I,
He doesn't have the good sense to. The whole world is his toys to play with, and he laughs and looks at us little ants, having conversations. So. Inside joke. Be my friend on Facebook and find out. In fact, you know what? Don't. Gretzky denies Maple Leafs rumors. Wayne Gretzky denying Maple Leafs rumors that he's going to Maple Leafs. Wayne Gretzky said there's no truth to the rumor that he'll be named the next president of the Toronto Maple Leafs. During an appearance on Hockey Night Canada, Gretzky denied any validity to the news that he will be in line in any job for the Leafs. And this guy grew up a big Leafs fan, and he's managed to miss this team every chance he's got.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And there was talk of him. I think when old Peter Buck over there in Edmonton wanted to dump him, I read the biography. I think Toronto was looking to Toronto. Was it Toronto and Detroit? But then it only became seriously Detroit and L.A., which turned out to be probably the best financial move for the. That's, you know what, the best financial move the NHL ever made. They had nothing to do with. It was just two teams. It was that criminal. What was that guy's name that went to jail? That owned the Kings. What was his name? Are you with me, Jay?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You have something to do?
No, I an alarm going off.
What did it tell you?
Sounds like a sub is
I know.
sinking.
You
So I went and shut the door.
Hey, Jay, hold on. F4.
Sank my battleship.
Yeah, shit, I win again. Yeah, Gretzky says he's not going there. I guess the Kings and look, the NHL makes no good financial news. The best one they ever made was Gretzky going to Los Angeles to promote the game, and basically a criminal owner had something to do with it. Was it Peter McNall, right?
Yeah.
Was that his
Bruce McNall.
Bruce McNall. Bruce.
Yeah.
I like Peter better. I'm going to call him Peter, just for the hell of it. Yeah, Bruce McNall. And he went to jail for, I don't know, tax evasion or some shit like that. And then Gretzky ended up in St. Louis and New York in no time. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought that was funny. I thought I'd get a laugh.
No, I
thought I was doing
funny.
my absolute
I'm
best.
sitting on my couch and my dog is actually humping my shoulder. So.
How many? Which one?
Sadie.
Sadie.
So I got a little distracted.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. I brake for dachshunds. I even have it on the back of my car. Yeah, no, even though I ride the bus. I brake for dachshunds. So Gretzky's not going to Leafs. Who cares? Hey,
No,
I got a.
anytime Gretzky's involved in hockey,
I have a trivia question for you, and this is near and dear to me and your heart because we were in the same room when this happened. Who won the last World Cup of hockey?
The United States.
No. That's I tried to fool you. They won in '96. You know when the last World Cup of hockey was held?
No.
Well, apparently either do I. I got this wrong. I think it was in 2004, but Canada won the last World Cup of hockey, but nobody knew about it. It wasn't as big a success as the '96 one, which I actually got to go to a game in the Garden for. Met Jeremy Roenick.
Wasn't he sitting next to Van Beeswork or something?
Yes, in a cab. You remember the story, right?
Yeah.
Should I tell that story?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, sure. I'll do what I want. I do what I want. What happened was I was doing something that I would never do now and ask for an autograph from an athlete, something I'll never do again. Not that I had any I had some bad experiences with it, but I mean, I actually sometime during my basic training when I was going into the bathroom to throw up because I was in so much pain. Uh, and because I had never really worked out and I didn't prepare very well for it, I realized that at some point during the puke and then blood and whatever day that would happen to be, I said to myself, I am never asking another athlete uh, 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 for an autograph again. And here's why: because I put my fucking pants on the same way those assholes do. They may be a lot better
Yeah.
than me, but I don't need. And you know what? It's not worth anything unless you're doing something weird with it. I remember this guy walked up to Glenn Healy, former New York Ranger goalie, '94 goalie, in fact, and I was right in front of him, and this guy walks up with this a whole, what do you call this whole, a binder full of freaking autographs, and he's flipping through to Glenn Healy. He gives it to Glenn Healy. He goes, autographs are for kids, not for collectors. Get lost. And he looked the guy like right in the eyes. It was really funny. And the guy just,
Nice.
oh man, because yeah, he ran a store probably. He goes, no, he said. In fact, I said, I'm quoting Glenn Healy. You run a store. This is for kids. It was right inside of the Garden parking lot where the Rangers.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, it was really cool because like, what are you gonna do? Beat Glenn Healy's ass?
Yeah, right.
That's it must.
I mean, I could see.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, it might be a different situation if like the guy was wearing a jersey or something like that, or but yeah, I mean, if you, I don't know.
He was dressed like a regular schmuck.
Yeah.
And he was dressed like a regular schmuck, and he's trying to, I don't know, feed his kids. Not Glenn Healy's dime. So I am never getting another autograph from these jackoffs again. But at that time I was willing to, for God knows what reason. But I had the World Cup of hockey, and as you all know, my outside of the Rangers, Jeremy Roenick was definitely one of my favorite players. And I was really just searching for him. Saw Mike Richter. Richter looked out, so he dipped out. He's like, oh man, I ain't doing this. And actually, Roenick was in a contract dispute at the time with the Chicago Blackhawks, so he actually couldn't play in the World Cup because it was an NHL-sponsored event.
Is that what I thought he was injured?
No, it was actually just right before he went to Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
It's right before he went to Phoenix, and he couldn't be there. So I saw him kind of run to a cab. I'm like, my whole life flashed before my eyes. I'm like, I'm gonna blow it. I mean, when the hell is he gonna be here? I can't afford a Blackhawks ticket. Rangers ticket. I can't.
Yeah, right.
It's an original 16 for Christ's sakes. So I did something I normally, every other time I would have let it go. But I was just like, nah, screw it. If you embarrass yourself, whatever. So I start running after him like a retard. That was 96. I was almost 20. Oh my God. So I was probably too old for it then. Come to think of it, he probably should have told me to fuck off. Would have totally saved my life. And I run towards the cab and I said, Jeremy, I can't afford to be here again. Could you get my autograph? And he looks at me and goes, no, does it look like I have time? And I just sat there stunned. I sat there stunned in my eye. And then these two super hot chicks are sitting in the car that I could see at this point, and they're laughing at me, And then Roenick looks at me, he says, get over here. So I go, so he's like, he starts signing my book. He goes, are you even a friggin' Blackhawks fan? I was like, no, I'm a Jeremy Roenick fan. And he says, oh, I'm a Jeremy Roenick fan. I was like, dude, I'm never going to get to see it. You're on the friggin' cover of the book they give you or whatever the hell of it. I got to see if I still have that. And he's like, come here. And I stuck my head, and there's John Van Beesbrook sitting right next to him.
Yeah.
And guess what he was doing? Laughing at my ass.
Yeah.
Like this idiot that wants pen on ink or paper on ink on paper. He could have wrote Luke Skywalker. In fact, it kind of looks like Luke Skywalker on the program. If I come to think, it could be anybody.
And you didn't get you didn't have your Roenick USA jersey yet, did you?
If I didn't, I did very soon.
Yeah.
No, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't have had him sign that because that's just, what was I going to know? I mean, I had this. This was 15 something years ago. What am I going to do? Not watch it for 15
right.
minutes. I still wear this stupid thing. I wore it in a Shot from the Point episode, I think.
Well, yeah, you did. They they come out same place as the Rangers come out, 33rd and 8th.
Yeah, something like that. What the size of the jersey?
No. When you saw him at the Garden.
Yeah, they came in 30, but he came out like a different way, not during that double door, which I don't think's there anymore. Yeah. I haven't been there. I thought of this yesterday. I have not been to a Ranger game in over 10 years. And that's sick.
Oh, wow.
Well, I left 8 years ago, so I mean it's and I usually come back in the summer, so it's not really in the cards, so to speak. But I'll never do that again. I don't recommend getting autographs, kids, because A, it's annoying, and the players shouldn't act like pricks when they do. I understand it's dumb, and it's just dumb. They probably should be nice to you, but look at it this way: every time they sign it, they don't want to do it because it's dumb. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
It's dumb. And if you had any brains at all, you'd be doing what that guy did to Glenn Healy and try to make money off it. And they don't appreciate that shit too much either. So you know what? Here's what I do. Here's my recommendation for autographs in the future. Here's what you do. You have a moment. Hey, Jeremy. Hi, Mike. Nice to meet you, kid. Take care, Jeremy. Bye.
Yeah.
And there's your moment.
And wait for some other idiot to walk out like I do. I sit there and wait to yell stupid shit at the players.
You still
act
do
like
that?
an idiot.
Still...
No, I haven't done that in a while. The last time I did it, Al Trotwick came out and
what did you say to him?
I mustered up, "Hey Al, you suck." And,
that was brilliant.
And
did you write that down?
Yeah. Gee, that was genius.
Did you write it down or?
Yeah, I was able to manage to memorize that one. It's like I actually said that to Devils fan. I was getting because now we got to take the train with these jerk offs.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. We got to come.
Yeah, it's real fun even when you're not playing them. So I'm with my it's like the first game I went to with my in-laws and everything, my wife, and we
weren't you on your best behavior?
What?
Weren't you on your wait? Weren't you on your best behavior? This is your in-law.
Apparently not.
Okay, good job.
So we're coming home from the game and it's freezing, and we're taking the train home, and Devils played the Canadiens that night and they won, and the Rangers shit the bed and lost 2-1 to the Islanders, maybe even 3-1, whatever. So we're sitting on the platform in Newark, Penn, and they have the covered area in there. Within the covered area,
sure,
which makes sense.
If you're from New York, you might know. Who knows? But
so you go, yeah. So we're getting off the train, and this jerk off Devil fan, as we're walking into the to the little sheltered area, yells, "Rangers suck!" So yeah, I'm the last person to go through the door, and of course I can't just let that go.
No, of course not.
Like a normal person would. So I laced into him with what you just.
Did you did you have a weird witty retort or?
Yeah, I was like, hey, can you hold on? You said Rangers suck. Can you write that down for me? Can I? I was like, because that was comedy gold, man. I've never heard that one before. Rangers suck. You said, right?
I heard that every day going to high school.
Yeah, it's like, wow, real original.
Yeah,
Rangers suck.
What did he say? Did he really kind of like?
No, he just kind of looked at me like he just couldn't believe I said something back. So
most people just cower away.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of Ranger fans out there that don't know a hockey puck from a hole in the ground. They're just kind of into Lundqvist. Yeah.
I looked like a jerk off in front of my my in-laws.
You went in, did they laugh, or was it like only funny to you and your wife look embarrassed?
No, it wasn't funny to me either. I looked like an idiot. But yeah, it was one of my many as my wife calls them, my Larry David moments.
Oh, yeah.
Her and her dad swear I'm
Larry David,
like a legitimate second coming of Larry David.
He's one funny. I heard. I never saw an episode, but I'll take your fucking word for it.
Great.
Yeah. He's like Seinfeld just like ripped everything off he did, called Seinfeld, and Larry David thought he'd go on HBO and do a real Seinfeld.
No, Larry David's he was one of the founders, I guess, of Seinfeld. He left, I think. They had like 2 seasons left, and he was gone. And Seinfeld actually credits him for 90% of the reason that show was funny was because of Larry David.
Yeah, apparently, because they already said that. I don't know. I just comedy. When I watch HBO, that's what he was on, HBO Showtime or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I watch
Great
HBO,
show.
I want I don't know, someone begging Christopher for their life. Anything other than that. And I don't know. I'm just a weird kind of guy that way. I'm just weird like that. Real quick. I don't know. Nothing. We're not doing anything really quick, but I guess I guess I'll talk about it real quickly. Did you notice on opening day like how Yager and Solani and all the players from our youth had this like huge night?
Yeah.
It was really funny.
I
felt young again. I bet they did too.
Yeah, so Solani shows there's no sign of him slowing down at all.
What's with? He looks weird now though. You gotta admit.
He's always looked weird.
He does. I well, because he's Finnish. But I mean, he just looks a lot weirder. He looks like, yeah, he did look weird when he was young. He's got these like really weird bug eyes, and they kind of freak you out. And he's quite a down to earth guy too. I mean, I always like him seeing him interviewed, but in a I don't know, kind of a roundabout way, I find him quite frightening.
That's what one of my friends texted me about Tuukka Rask. Said the same thing. He's like, I don't think I'm a fan of Tuukka Rask's look. In fact, I'd say it's quite unpleasant.
His name freaks me out. Where the hell?
Yeah, he's a weird looking guy.
Where's he from?
He looks like Bjork and a vampire. He does. He looks like Bjork.
Well, what about that jerk over in San Jose with his goofy hipster beard? Who was that?
Oh.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. They had this big thing. I think I posted it. I forget his name. You know what? It's not that important. I remember I saw some guy in San Jose Shark with his goofy hipster beard, and it was something like one of these memes, like the evolution of this player. I can't remember. Obviously not that important. Moving on and recovering.
Thanks for dragging the show down, Tom.
What's that? Thanks. You're welcome. Well, congratulations to Solani and Yager. Yager's already hurt, and Solani's still creeping people out. Moving on. Yeah, I think that's it for the news.
Arnott?
Yeah. Well,
did you tell
major
me?
moves. Sure, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, did you tell me this is a joke? Because I remember when Arnott. Do you remember that whole?
You know what?
Go on, do
I
it.
tell the story, or do you want to tell?
Yeah, do it. It's hilarious.
All right. Arnott had, I guess, I was like a junior in high school or something like that, and I used to read the NHL comms kind of, like religiously, but I don't always read the headlines. I would just kind of skim through, and I have like one paper and like on the left arm and the one end I'm skimming there, and then it's a Jason Arnott has tested positive for a paternity test. He apparently denied fathering a child for a woman he met on a dating service in Edmonton, and I think by this time, well, no, 94. It was 94, 95. Maybe he's on his way to the Devils at that point, or just gotten to the Devils. And he said he denied paternity, and then he was quoted as saying, "Now that I know that this is my child, I will take care of him. But I think being a professional hockey player and a celebrity, I did have reason to doubt it, but I will take care of my responsibility." And I was like, well, that's nice, Jason. I mean, what's he going to do? And you know what? And in total fairness to him, there's so many kooks out there. I mean, look what happened to what's-his-face in L.A. I mean, it's completely reasonable. I'd be like, hey, you got me credit. I'd be like, prove it, bitch. And she did, So, and but that wasn't the funny part. What the funny part was, when you looked at the headline, it said, "You're a father, are not, are two." And it might have been the funniest line since Headless Body found a topless bar. I mean, it was.
What was the other headline? You told me about a headline. It actually came up with a screen name because of it. These kids were doing something really stupid, and they were goofing around, and one of them died, and the headline was "Death Ends Fun." And I don't know why, but I got a sixth sense of humor, I guess. And I thought that was hilarious.
I think the great John Freeman told me that story. The guy who does our music on this show. I got to touch base with him. Death ends fun. Every time.
That's what you said every
Unless you're in the funeral business, I guess. I mean, all right, I guess that's your NHL news. if you want it. If you're still here, it's your NHL news. All right, I'm going to go to the standings. Where you think's going to pick it up? Well, we'll start off with the Rangers division because I don't know. I mean, seriously, how many games did you watch from the other league this week? Or even highlights, be honest.
I pretty much focus on the Rangers and the Kings. So.
Oh, really? Are you you a true Blue Kings fan? And when did this come about? I don't.
Yeah, no, I've always when I was younger, I loved Luke Robitaille.
No, that's right. I take it.
The first player that wasn't a Ranger that I ever really loved. Huh? Oh yeah, he went to the Rangers, and then Colin Campbell tried to destroy him.
I have a Luke Robitaille story.
Is it about Colin Campbell?
Oh no, I ran into him when he was a Ranger.
He's a nice guy.
Well, I was running back and forth like an idiot for autographs in the same spot, but it was obviously not the same game. I don't even know if Robitaille was on the Rangers that year. Or no, maybe, yeah, he was on the Rangers. Or he just got traded. Didn't he come back or something like that? Or maybe it's the day the Rangers got all Samuelson. I don't remember.
Oh.
And I was running around for autographs, and I ran into this dude, right, like physically, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And he looked at me and he said, "Oh, come on, man. I mean, Jesus." And then I just said, I looked at him. I said, "Well, I really wasn't asking, and I apologize." And I said it kind of like sarcastically. And then he just grabbed my pen and signed the stuff and moved on.
Yeah, well, that's from whatever. I've never met him, but everything that I've ever heard of him, that's how he is. He's just like a.
Well, he felt bad.
Like,
you could tell he kind of felt bad because he looked at me like, "Oh, come on, dude." Like, first of all, I wasn't looking. I was probably trying to get Kovalov's autograph or something like that. And which by the way, I highly don't remember it. And I used to be kind of mad at him, but I'm not anymore because, like I said, autographs are stupid.
yeah.
And people show me their autograph connections, and I just think, well, I have just a little bit more of a life than this guy does. I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
You know.
I've got a couple autographs, and I've never done a damn thing with them.
Did you show them? You could make money on that, even though you can't prove it. I mean, shit, I could have signed those bitches. You wouldn't have known.
Yeah, right. The only one I went out of my way to like get from a player. Well, no, that's not. I was going to say Joey Kosar.
I got a Joey Kosar story. I maybe I should say that.
I've always loved like the tougher guys, which is weird that I was a Yager and a Robitaille fan because I've always liked the hard nosed, either the tough guys or the agitators or the two-way players or the big nasty.
I know you're a big Dubinsky guy too, right?
I like Dubinsky.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of shit the bed last year statistically, but
yeah, he was hurt.
He was other things.
I don't think he played 2 games. That one game he came back and he lost to the Devils. I thought he really hustled actually, but I mean it's just too little late. I mean they already dug a hole by that point.
Well, I mean that's the game they played in really.
Let me ask you, did you go to? Because I think I remember you goofing on me. Did you go to the Joey Kosar Menlo Mall thing back like around '92?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I did that too. So like I walk into the front of the mall and I see like 5 people online. And I walk, and this guy kind of waves me. I'm staring at it, and this guy's like looks at me like, "Hey, dumb kid, come this way and get Joey Kosar's autograph." So he waves me on to this other line where they just like 5 people stand. You go in, and I forget exactly what Kosar said to me. He looked crazy, and whatever he said probably didn't matter too much, but he seemed to be quite nice. And so I got my autograph. I walked out of the sports store at the time, which is no longer there. I think it's like the Jungle Place or whatever the hell it is now.
Yeah. Yep.
And I walked down there, and I see a line going down the frigging. I saw a line going down the all the way, conservatively 300 people online. And I just the line like totally. And my uncle said, "Yeah, that's the way you got to go through life, Tommy. Just be stupid, and things will happen to you." And all right, and I didn't even get one of those Christmas stories. The line ends here. It starts over there. So I got through. I totally slipped through. In fact, that's a really good the Christmas story when the kid goes up to the front of the line and the old man's turning around. But I actually got through. And I got through because the one guy was like, just, "Hey, come on." And there was like 300 other really pissed off people online. And I think then I saw you. I saw you sitting in a thing, and you were like, I told you a story, and you looked at me and you said, "What an idiot," something like that. And then I said something to the effect like, "How long did you wait online?" And you said about an hour and a half, and I was like, "Okay, I win. See you later."
Who's the idiot now, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure.
But
by the way, your mom's here. Your mom's here with her sister. You got to go. You got to walk out the mall with your mom. Hold her hand.
I think my dad took me.
Yeah, I think he did. Your mom would be caught dead in front of a hockey player.
No, it was.
I'm sure your dad really wanted to be there.
He hated. My dad still hates going out in public, and I'm kind of like him now. But he hates going to hockey games, anything.
Really?
If I offered to buy him like tickets to Billy Joel, he'd tell me he'd rather just listen to the CDs at home.
I'm not. Well, you're going to save some money, son, you dumbass.
I love my dad.
Yeah, I do too. And I'm not going to tell this story because it's not mine to tell. But I've been in the Army. I served about 8 months in Iraq. And he actually, before I even thought about joining, he told me the best war story ever. And I'm not going to tell it because, like I said, it's not for me to tell. And it's not bloody, gory, violent. It's actually really, really funny. But yeah, big shout out to your dad. Hey, we're like fellow veterans now. You think you'll like
Yeah, right.
have like some kind of like weird like link? No, believe me, I sat on a base and your dad actually fought.
Well, according to him, you guys had it a hell of a lot worse.
It is
He
no truth.
definitely.
There is no truth to that whatsoever.
I think I'm not a
Well,
veteran,
not
so
me,
I don't know
not me
that.
personally. I didn't have it bad. I mean, there was guys that had it maybe worse than your dad, but I think in the great scheme of things, we had internet. We could write home. I mean, look, war's
Yeah,
hell. I'm not going to say, I don't want to get into that too. I'm actually kind of sorry I said that. War's hell either way. But
yeah,
I can't
right.
imagine not being able to talk to my family every day. And I know your dad didn't for a whole, like, at least 12 months.
9 months or whatever. Yeah,
It
and the thing is, if you tell any guy, if you say anything like that to any guy in the military or talk to them, anybody else probably had it worse than what they had it, because that's just how these guys are.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he thinks we had it worse. I believe me. Tell him I played Tetris.
Yeah, right.
Well, I wasn't in the infantry too. I don't know. He probably got drafted, dumbass. He should have joined before they got him.
Yeah, yeah, he got drafted.
Yeah. Best war story ever. Give your best to my dad. Let's actually get to what we're doing for a change. Well, you know what? We've continued the Dave and Tommy tradition of not being able to focus on any one thing at one time.
That's fine. I just wanted to say too, real quick, the Joey Koser thing. I think originally Darren Turcotte, and I don't know why I remember stupid things like this. I think Turcotte was supposed to be there, Darren Turcotte, and he missed his plane or something like that, or something happened, because this was in the summer, and Joe Koser actually he got there, and that's just the kind of guy he always was. He got there and signed autographs for the fans, and stepped up for a teammate like he did on the ice. And, like you said, there were a bunch of people there, and people forget that what a fan favorite Joe Koser was, and how the Garden would start rocking Joey every time
he replaced Knuckles Nyland. Really, I mean, he was our Knuckles Nyland.
Yeah,
and I fret to think, and I don't remember, but like when Prober and him were in the same team, it just must have been freaky to go into Hockey Town. It just must have been freaky.
Well, they didn't have anything when it was they used to use those guys in commercials to market the team, because they, until Yzerman came along, they didn't really have it. What they had Koser, Probert, and Paul Eisenbart.
Yeah, Eisenbart wasn't a bad player. I forgot about him.
John O'Grodnick. I remember watching.
O'Grodnick. Yeah, he was in the Rangers too.
And some idiot in Detroit tried pouring a beer over the side of the glass and poured on O'Grodnick's head. And Johnny O moves out of the way. Yeah. He gets himself out. He didn't know anything, but he was battling for a freaking puck. He didn't know what's going on. But it just happens. He moves out of the way just in time. Beers all over whatever Detroit Red Wing player he was going at the puck for. All over the Red Wings player. I was like, well, that's what you get. That's what you get. You
hockey fans showing themselves to be stellar worldwide. I'm proud of our game. I like the fact it's the only game in the world that if somebody's really aggravating the shit out of you, you can punch them in the mouth. And a lot of people think that's wrong, and it probably is. It probably is wrong, but I don't care and stay away from my sport.
Fan or player?
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah. Ask Mike Milbury. Big pussy
jump
now.
For the ice, get your ass kicked by the Buffalo Sabres bench.
That could happen.
Get in a fight with the Bruins and Rangers.
Sure.
Ranger fan gets beat with his own shoe.
Ty Domi might reach over the the wall and smack you around a little bit.
Oh Jesus. I love Dylan.
Or not. And here's the best part. If you jump on the ice and a player doesn't get to you, the refs will too. And if you think they're pussies, you're dead fucking wrong. Check some video out. They're stronger, faster, and probably smarter than your dumbass who just jumped over the glass. Are we going to get to standings yet?
Oh, hey, standings.
Yeah, standings. I think Dead on Dave would be very proud of you. We're all over the place as usual. The Atlantic Division, currently New Jersey, unfortunately is 3-0, no OT wins or any bullshit like that. God, I hate that. I don't want to tie, but I think you should.
No, didn't they?
If you go to OT, you get a point.
Didn't they beat the Caps in OT?
Yeah. No, I mean, unless this is wrong, I got a 3-game.
Maybe,
They're 3-0-0. I mean, 3-0-0. So it's 3.
well, yeah, you don't get the overtime stat would, or the overtime column would be the loss in OT.
Yeah. Well, the way I understand it now, all you have to do is go to OT to get a point.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have 3 wins. Yeah, 3. Well, they have 3 wins. That gives them fucking 9 points. And wait a minute.
Yeah, but you don't get it wouldn't be an overtime column if they won in overtime or in a shootout.
Oh, okay.
That's only there if you get a loss.
You only get a loss in overtime.
Yeah, I think it's all bullshit.
It is all bullshit. And you know what? You should only get the point if you go to the shootout.
And I hate I cannot stand the shootout.
You know, I apologize for that. I think that's my fault.
I think it's ridiculous. It takes away from the penalty shot.
Would you rather have a tie? Yeah, it does take away from the penalty shot because you see them all the time now.
If they would do 10 minutes 4-on-4, like if you don't do 5 minutes and then do another 5 after that. If nobody can win after that tie game, put 4-on-4, keep taking players off the ice.
Problem with 10 minutes 4-on-4 in a shootout.
I just hate the shootout.
Really, you'd rather have a tie?
And I should like it because the Rangers have
If I'm not mistaken, you and me both wanted this 10 years ago.
No,
I was for it, and I regret it totally.
I just think it's ridiculous to have a great game end in a skills competition, and if you're going to have the shootout count for the standings, it should count statistically. That last goal should count against the goaltender, and that last, and it should count for the what's it called, for the shooter, and the last save on the from the other goalie should count statistically as well.
I'll just wait. It'll be in the playoffs before we know it. I think that's the last episode of Shot from the Point. If they do that, though, I'm done.
Gosh.
Bye. So long. I'm going to watch rugby. It's the last untampered sport on earth. Yeah. Jersey's up, according to this, 3 wins, no losses, 6 points. Yeah, I guess they should have 9 then. Islanders in second place. Islanders look really good early on. What's their start?
For the Islanders.
Tavares or whatever his name is.
I'm sorry, what, can you say that again?
Tavares. What's his name?
What about him?
Yeah, I guess he's their go-to guy now, right? Am I saying his name right? Tavares?
Yeah, you got it.
So him, I don't watch a lot of Islander games, as you can see.
Yeah, well, they got him. They got Gradner.
Yeah, and that's about it. They actually, I watched the one early on. I watched some of the highlights. Islanders actually look very strong early, but they'll find a way to collapse. They'll always will, and that's fine with me.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the first Ranger Islander game because it doesn't matter how good or bad the teams that it's evenly matched. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. Pittsburgh Penguins coming up in third place in the Atlantic Division. Pittsburgh looks really good, really dangerous in the power play, man. My problem is their toughness down the road. You saw what Philadelphia was able to do with them in the playoffs. And go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, their defense was all over the place. I mean, they let up 30 goals in 6 games.
Yeah, can't do that.
Yeah,
even with the greatest player since Eric Lindros is there.
Yeah, you can. I don't know.
The sunshine that comes out of that kid's ass is in the shape of an NHL logo. Even Eric Lindros on a goal bowling because they are both quite possibly the biggest sunshine pumped ad. I can see all these ads. Do you really want to lose the best player in the game to a concussion? Would you rather have a look so you can put? Yeah, I'll tell you something. If Sidney Crosby, as talented as he is the future, then I'm the past. See, yeah, I'm going to rugby. I as good as he, and Malkin's probably better than him. He's probably got more skill.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, look what happens when Crosby's out. Yeah. That Malkin is just they just get better, and it happens every time when Malkin's out and it's Crosby. There's really, they've kind of been an average team.
Yeah,
at least in
the playoffs. At least in the playoffs, but early on,
I'm not buying all the Crosby hype.
No,
I still think it's hype. I think look, before he got injured and it sucked because he went out. I think he was the best player in the league. Finally,
yeah,
best player in the league. Up until then, And it's weird because Ovechkin starts going down and Crosby starts going up. And I think up until then, I think Ovechkin, I don't think there was anything in the league like Alexander Ovechkin.
Absolutely.
I've never had so much fun watching another player dismantle the Rangers.
Yeah, it's every other team.
Yager used to do that too.
Hey, listen, the thing with Ovechkin is me and Dave are big Ovechkin fans too. And I think the thing is, we're wondering if you listened to the show last year. I don't know if you did. You said you did. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But our theory is they've got him in some kind of weird system. If you have an offensive player, a franchise player, you gear the offense around that player. You don't play some kind of weird Rangers blocking style. That works for the Rangers because they didn't really have a lot of offensive talent, really. They just picked up a guy now. We'll get into that in a minute. But it just doesn't. That system doesn't work for him. And I showed you what a trooper he is because Sidney Crosby doesn't have the guts to do this. He's no Tim Tebow. Ovechkin's the type of guy to just go through with it and deal with it.
Yeah, right.
And shut up, even if he knows it's not the right thing to do. And I think that's the difference between. I think Pittsburgh will always be the weakness because I think they got a bunch of cowards on that team. And I say that I don't say that just out of Ranger hate. I believe it. I think
they're dirty.
I think Sidney Crosby would run to save his own ass if his baby was sliding down the street in a baby carriage. I would.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know. Is he married?
No.
I don't know. He's another creepy looking guy. Everybody says how good looking he is. I look at those tombstones in his teeth and they just freak me out. I don't know, man. They're big teeth.
Sucking a salt block.
Of all time. So, I wish I could start smoking and just get a little yellow, so I'd be a little distracted.
That's actually Ray Ferraro actually said that to Matthew Barnaby at one time because God, I love Matthew Barnaby. God, probably my favorite player of all time. Him and Adam Graves. My God, I love Matthew Barnaby.
He was great.
Wayne Gretzky of agitators.
Wayne Gretzky, absolutely. Was he better than Eddie Shore though? But nobody's better than Eddie Shore.
Piss on Eddie Shore.
Piss on Eddie Shore. Eddie Shore was
piss on old time hockey. God, I love Slapshot.
Yeah, I can't get my girlfriend through an hour of that flick. I've been
really.
Yeah. I don't understand.
Wife loves it.
Oh, I know. Oh God, it's the funniest movie ever. Probably the most accurate sports film ever. And you know what? It was actually the most accurate Army film ever, even though it had nothing to do with the Army. I'll explain that another time.
The locker room stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty much on the money. Philadelphia Flyers lagged early on, but they just put 2 winning games. Where do you see them down the road, Flyers?
Down the road is in this season.
Yeah.
Bottom of the standings. If they make the playoffs like an 8th seed, I think, and that's not Flyer hate. I actually probably hate the Penguins and Islanders more than the Flyers. No, I respect that rivalry, as crazy as that sounds. I have no respect for the Penguins and the Devils. So.
The Devils too? I respect the Devils.
It's their fans. It's their fans.
They're
obsessed with the Rangers. I always respect that franchise. They do things the right way. They get the right type of players. Yeah. The Rangers have this slogan now, the right way. The Devils have always done it the right way. And the Rangers seem to be just catching up with that recently. But,
it's the right way. Here's the way it works for the Rangers. It's the right way if you're short a superstar. If you're not short a superstar and you need to put asses in the seats and pick up a broken down Lindros or Yager, otherwise it's the wrong way all the time.
I can't believe the shit I put up with this team. But
you should try rugby.
I'd like.
You're losing me. What happened?
Sorry.
Wow. Tell me you have water over there or something.
Jeez.
Is that dachshund attacking you or something? Or
I went through the water.
The
Flyers. I think the Flyers have a very bright future. I think if they suck the rest of the season, good things are going to happen to them because they're going to get immediate help on the blue line with in the name of Seth Jones.
Yes.
But no, they got all kind of trouble in the back end though, and
And I don't even want to go into Braskalov. Do you know that guy's got a 9-year contract?
Yeah, that's.
Whose bright idea was that? Don't tell me it was Bobby Clark's.
God, can you imagine? They're probably sitting there like looking at the DiPietro thing, just like Flyers fans got to be hoping that he's injured every 2 days. God, and then they signed him after the rookie year that Bobrovsky has. I don't understand that.
Does he know somebody? By the way, I like Ilya Bryzgalov personally. I think he's a really funny guy, and seems like a really nice person. Um, and admittedly, I didn't see a lot of him when he apparently was playing well. But a 9-year contract, I can understand a Crosby. I can understand a Drew getting a contract. I can understand an Ovechkin getting a contract like that. I think that can be
Yeah.
justified. How can you justify a guy? I mean, how many time All-Stars, hey? 1, 2? Bryzgalov. He might be the worst goalie in the league, except for Jonathan Quick, but we'll get to him in a minute. He might be the worst goalie in the league. I mean, it's frightening. This guy has a 9-year National Hockey League contract.
Yeah, it's.
I'd rather have Glenn Healy now.
Glenn Healy, he was a hell of a backup.
He really was. Poor guy. Any other? If the Stars had been a little different for him, he'd have been great starting goalie. But it's too bad. Getting to the Rangers. Where do you see them? I know that you cannot be. Neither you or me can be. But just take your best shot.
Well, the Rangers. I look at the Rangers and it's. I just approach every season as expect the worst and hope for the best. And I don't know. I got a little excited after the season they had last year. I was a little disappointed in some of the experts where they placed them saying that Pittsburgh's gonna win the cup and take the division and the conference and all this other shit. And it's like, really, after the playoff they had, and they didn't make any improvements. In fact, they lose Jordan Staal, and then they place the Rangers far below Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh will win a cup. Actually, Sidney Crosby will beat Claude Giroux in a fist fight before Pittsburgh will win a cup.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. Give you that idea.
What a punk!
And it seems bizarre with all that talent, but with all that, I'll tell you, they can't win with the ego. That's the problem. No. I could bash Crosby all night, and I'm not going to do it. Here's the way I see the Rangers. They're obviously having trouble gelling. There's a hell of a lot of talent in this team. Those idiot Ranger fans that were telling, we don't want you to Rick Nash. Well, how do you like me now, bitches?
Holy shit.
Because
yeah. Does he have one goal? But
he has one goal, but he's creating tons of opportunities for tons of players. He makes Richards look good. I keep thinking every time Richards scores a goal, it's like, where the fuck were you last year in the playoffs? That's what I keep thinking. Where was this guy in the playoffs? You make a lot of money, And Nash is creating open stuff. He is a pleasure to watch.
Richards is a playmaker, though. Don't expect any. Don't expect a ton of goals out of him.
He's paid like friggin' Luke Robitaille, and he doesn't play like Luke Robitaille. I think I want Luke Robitaille.
It's a Chris Drury type situation, not to that extent, because but it's Ranger fans expected so much more out of Drury, and so did the organization. It's like his first 2 years there, you got the player that he's been throughout his career. You didn't, what were you expecting? I mean, something.
The Rangers are now run by a corporation, and that's pretty much the problem. They got a bunch of guys that don't understand hockey.
Another big problem is it's always going to be this way. Anytime you have, like, Sather is basically his own boss. He's the president and general manager.
I know he pulled that out in a shit town like Edmonton, but how did he pull that off in New York? That guy's a genius.
Yeah,
and he loses every year. It's amazing. I mean, he must be the greatest ass kisser in North America.
Yeah, it's just mind blowing.
It is.
This guy has had that job.
He coached Gretzky. I mean, what the fuck? How could he be wrong?
Yeah,
I can't be wrong about anything.
I coached that team. He would sit there on the bench and laugh while the players went out there and basically dismantled other teams. There's like video of him like chuckling while the Oilers just run over everybody.
He's saying to himself, "I won the sperm lottery. Look at me,"
There'll never be another team like that. They really look at it. They only beat themselves.
Oh God, I know.
Put pucks in their own net.
No, the guy named Smith that put the goal in. They beat him. Who was the guy that had the own goal? The own goal. Look at me. I've been in Europe too long. He was a good player too. Defenseman Smith. He blew it for the 3 year in a row. What was his first name? He had a long career too. That's a good trivia question too.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm shitting my pants here on the air.
Yeah.
I'm choking.
All right, I'll just leave it at this with the Rangers. Here's the best I hope for. First of all, I think they have the talent to win the damn President's Trophy. But I'm not really interested in that this year because I don't think the President's Trophy means all that much this year. Just make the playoffs and get hot.
Yeah.
I don't really care where they finish. I don't think it means month. I don't care too much about their stats. I'm usually one of these guys that's like, who scored the most goals. But this year I'm not. Just make the playoffs. Get hot like last year. It doesn't really matter where you finish. The Devils, I think, finished below 500 in 1995, according to Big Jake Link, and they went on to win a cup. So it doesn't matter. Make the playoffs. Get your shit together now. They're obviously having trouble getting their shit together. Callahan, got to pick up your game. Hagelin, got to pick up your game. Love the way Nash is playing. Love the way the first line's playing. The defense seems to be starting to come together, and I think that was the best sign of the Toronto game the other night. Is we were getting goals from the defense like we were regularly during the playoffs and before that. So maybe this team is just on its way together. But here's the problem with this type of season: you have a 10-game losing streak. Your season is over. Don't forget it, and that goes for every one of these teams. You drop a couple games in a row, you lose a goalie, your season is done. It's finished. Goodbye.
I'm going to be honest. I'm surprised that pretty much all these games have pretty much been a little surprising. I don't think there's been too much consistency with anyone. Pittsburgh's losing to the Islanders and the Jets.
It's like this. I'm not angry at the Rangers. I don't want to be angry with the Rangers. But here's the simple facts: is they cannot continue to lose because of a shortened season. That's it. Those are the rules.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
You can blow October. You can't blow. You can't blow January and February in a shortened season. That's it. That's right. What I had to say. Let's move on to the Northeast Division. Boston, where do you see him at?
Winning the division.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to really compete with them there.
I'm
Buffalo.
With you. I saw a lot from Ottawa in the playoffs this year. I think they're going to get their 3.
Yeah, I forgot about Ottawa.
Yeah, I got Ottawa finishing this season up. And the only other contenders they have are Buffalo, who can never get their act together on anything. Toronto. I think you saw Toronto's best game last night. I don't really see much.
They're one of the teams that beat the Penguins.
Yeah, I could see a situation where, like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It'd be like, I mean, it's going to be between Boston and Ottawa are probably going, and Buffalo and Toronto will probably fight out for the last spot. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if all 5 seeds go in the Atlantic, because with the exception of Boston, who's missing their goalie, unless if your Rusky guy comes through. That's still a pretty damn good team, and they still have 14 of the players that actually won the cup in 2010. So they're definitely ass kicking. Montreal's a joke. They'll always be a joke, and it's kind of fun watching them. I don't think they didn't make the playoffs like the first 30 years of my life, so I'm okay for another 10 years if they don't make the playoffs.
This is what people like as Yankee fans. This is what they like. You're doing what other people hope happens to us.
Yeah, okay. You know what?
Misery.
I never thought that I would enjoy it as much as I am, and I do. And anytime I need to be reminded, what colossal assholes Habs fans are. I just watch, Patrick Waugh leaning over the bench to the general manager saying, "That's my last game in Montreal, asshole."
From what I remember, you always appreciated his talent, but you fucking hated
I think he's a fucking shitbag. But you know what? I have changed my mind. He got a fight with he got in some kind of clear benching brawl with his kid on his hockey team, or like against the other team. So that changed my opinion of him completely. I'm okay with him now. And he's funnier when he's fat, and he's funny to look at now. He's funny to look at. Oh, definitely one of the best goaltenders of all time. So Montreal, where do you think is Buffalo going to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I think
so.
Buffalo
It's
could.
probably Buffalo, Ottawa, Boston, and then the whole.
Yeah, because I don't think Philly will, they'll be a lower seed team if they make it in.
I tell you something. I'm looking at this. I mean, the Atlantic Conference is the most depth in the Eastern Conference. I mean, it's sick. It's sick.
Don't be surprised. Washington sucks.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you can make the playoffs in the Southeast. I apologize. Southeast Division, where do you see them? Tampa Bay, Winnipeg, Carolina, Washington, or Florida?
Who's going to win the division?
I don't know. Let's forget the division. It doesn't mean anything. It's a stupid system as it is. Who's going to playoffs?
She's probably one of the teams.
Hopefully,
bad.
I just hope Washington goes because I like Ovechkin.
Florida's 1-4. My God. Yeah, Washington's not going to make the playoffs because their ship has sailed. They're done. They're too many weak players on that team.
Let me ask you something. I never asked you this last year, but I thought of you when we were talking about why'd they fire Dale Hunter.
I don't know what happened there. I have no idea. I mean, I just take it as they said. You thought there was more to it. I think he left and wanted to coach up in Canada. Was he coaching London?
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
NHL. Beats your
one of-
NHL alma mater. I'm sure he's much happier there.
I don't know what the hell happened there, but he had that team working. They looked like a team that lunch pail type of team, but
I don't know.
not now.
Maybe he was with Rod Brind'Amour's ex-wife. I don't know.
Yeah. Robert ex-wife. God.
Yeah. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah.
You blew the dynasty. I don't think that was ever reported in the papers, but most people from the East Coast and Philadelphia know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not going into that because I actually got that from somebody who knew Lindros. So just about everybody knows it's not a big secret anymore. I don't think it's ever been reported though publicly. We'll report it here first.
Huh?
Don't captains of major hockey teams, and maybe you peewees too. Take some Don Cherry advice. Don't bang your assistant captain's wife or girlfriend. It fucks everything up. Absolutely, it does. It really screws everything up.
Oh yeah, and don't sleep with your bosses either, because that's
well, that works for Glenn Slater, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Slats.
But okay, in that division though, Southeast, I think Tampa's.
I was looking. It's funny, and I totally admit this. I forgot the way the system worked for like a minute. I totally had like a mental breakdown because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning over here, and we're actually it's almost 2. And I'm looking at the Northeast and Atlantic Division as that's like the entire Eastern Conference until I scroll down. So we'll take back some of the comments that I made about the entire Eastern Atlantic Conference making the playoffs. Because
I'm throwing things out there too quickly too, like when and I'm anal, especially when it comes to what I know about hockey. So I'm actually itching right now, Tom, because I said something stupid about the teams that beat Pittsburgh. But
well,
the other one.
You know what? You can. Here's the best part of that. Okay, I didn't even pick up on it, and I'll listen to it later and laugh at you. But for now, I'll try to support you. If you make if you make a mistake, here's what you do. Here's what you do. Hey, jerk off, you're wrong because you said this and that's not right. And then here's what I do. You're right. And it really disarms the trolls. Yeah, you got me. You know, I forgot I tried my stupid poker show. And this guy wrote on my thing, he wrote, this is a complete waste of time. Which I don't know if he was wrong. Actually. And then I wrote back to him. I said, you know what? You're right. I'm going back to trolling. And he gave me an LOL, and I was out. That was the last poker show. You know. Well, he didn't write anything else. He didn't say anything about my mom or my kid or dying or anything like that. He just told me it sucked, and I thought it sucked before he did. To be perfectly honest, to be perfectly hipster about it, I thought it sucked before you did, motherfucker. You know.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the Western Conference, where do you see Devon Dave's Chicago Blackhawks?
Oh God, they suck. No, I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised. I didn't expect
5-0. Did anybody expect that?
No.
Here's the thing. First of all, they didn't win the Stanley Cup that long ago.
Right.
Well, they have one of the most dangerous players and fastest players I've ever seen, and they have 2 players that really click, Taves and Kane, and
Taves.
I don't see this team not winning the Stanley Cup. I think I don't know if I even feel this way because I think even Crawford's got a 2.0 goals against average. If you can get that down a little bit, they could be contenders.
Emery backing them up.
What about there's rumors of Luongo going to Chicago?
Then it's over.
Yeah,
for Chicago. You cannot get this shit together in the playoffs.
Yeah,
my God,
that would be funny. It's over Chicago. But I mean, I guess you don't like a trade like that. Is that what you're saying? Because
not for Chicago.
Luongo. He's not. A lot of Hawks fans are uncomfortable with Crawford and that.
Well, yeah, because he's not a big name established guy.
He wins another 10 in a row. He will be. Jesus.
Yeah.
He looks pretty sharp to me. I mean,
I'll admit, Lundqvist's first season, I didn't know what the hell to expect from him. It's not like he was a first overall pick or even a.
I wasn't happy until he won the gold medal. I was like, "Who the hell is this guy? Who's Mike replacement?" Until he won the gold medal, then I was like, "Okay, I'm a typical New York sports fan. All right, you're okay now, pal."
Yeah, he's a hell of a.
I love Lundqvist so much. If he sucked, I wouldn't know it. Listen, I really like Nashville right now. They're playing really fast. Barry Tots. He looks like the thing from the What's his name? Tots?
Trots.
Well, he looks like the thing from the Fantastic Four, and I like him. I like the way I like what he did last year. I don't think he has a super duper talented team, but he is definitely a great goalie, and he seems like a really good coach. And sometimes a really good coach can take average players, ask the '95 Jersey Devils, and win Stanley Cups. I don't think it's going to be
gold medals.
What's that?
Or gold medals.
Yeah, sure. I like what Trotsy's doing. I like that he could look like he could pull off the Hulk smash thing, and I could Hulk smash, and I like the fact that he shipped Rattle off. The guy was a cancer, and he's gone. So long. So farewell. See ya.
Yeah, I was shaken when there were rumors of the Rangers going after him.
God.
That would have just been typical Glenn Sather type move.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
We'll give him a chance.
Yeah, sure.
Stop giving players chances. Give the team a chance to win. How about that, Glenn?
I think Tortorella would call his captain and have him whack.
Oh,
but
it's no way he's lasting under Tortorella.
No way. I think Tortorella's. If you can tell me if this is wrong. Radley puts on his first Ranger. He hasn't met the coach yet. He puts on his first. He laces up, right? Hasn't done anything wrong. Tortorella walks up to him. First thing he says to me, "If you hit me with a hockey stick, I'm gonna fuck you." And I'm not kidding. You think I don't give a shit who you know? I don't care if you're in the Russian mob. I'll fucking kill you, kid. I'll see you on the ice.
Yeah. That team, those players last year, they would have fucked him up.
Yeah.
Oh
no, they love him. I know.
Yeah.
I know. And I'm sure that wasn't easy. I'm sure it's like Stockholm Syndrome love, but I mean, it's love nonetheless.
Yeah, because look at them the year before. It was almost like they'd go into Tampa, and it was just a completely different team. It's like, oh, you're going to be on our ass a little bit, huh? Fuck you and your homecoming. How about that? It's like they laid down in Tampa when they would play there. Different team playing for them now. It might be a Stockholm Syndrome type of thing. That's a good analogy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I hope the quarter's still running. Yeah, it is. All right, Nashville, like them, like Picorine. Where do you see Detroit at?
God, who the heck? No, for me, with a lot of this, it's just so early, and it's such a weird season. I mean, they got a lot of problems. Mainly, Lidstrom retired. That's a lot of problems for every team.
Yes.
Or for any team. Mainly the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually not so much a problem for the rest of the NHL.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
In my opinion, I know I get a lot of shit for this, but greatest defenseman of all time.
Oh, really?
I mean, Bobby Orr. I think it's more like Orr was definitely a more. He's one of the most complete players, right, with Messier and Gordie Howe. I mean, those are guys that can and will and would and did.
I don't think there's a player in the league that changed the game more than Gordie Howe. I think that goes without saying.
No. You mean Bobby Orr?
Bobby Orr. Sorry, Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe actually just played the game like every other Canadian. He just did it better than everybody else and punched harder,
Elbows. I mean, there's look at Messier when he played. I was always comparing him to Gordie Howe.
Yeah, I imagine.
And as towards the end of his career, other people started saying the same thing. And I mean, those guys are just the most complete players ever play the game. But I think that Lidstrom's the best defenseman of all time. Yeah, I'd probably take just like
better than Phil Housley.
Yes.
Better than Paul Coffey.
Much better than Paul Coffey.
Better than
Paul Coffey was
better than Matthew Schneider.
A little bit. A little bit.
I don't know. I'm not comfortable.
Just like Gretzky.
Yeah. I'm not comfortable with Lidstrom.
He's the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
Mark Messier is the most complete player of all time.
Yeah.
I think Lidstrom's the greatest defenseman of all time. I think Bobby Orr is the most complete.
Yeah. Nobody changed a game like old Bobby Orr.
No.
But yeah, it's pretty. Look, I think one of the reasons he played in Detroit and he destroyed. I guess because he wasn't an asshole and he wasn't in the media all the time. That I think if he opened his mouth a little more, I'd put him up higher on the stage because he's kind of one of those masterfully silent but extremely effective players. But his statistics.
That's Swedes, though.
Yeah, that's the way they are.
And they're
good looking, and they hang around Broadway looking like models all the time.
They're hell of hell of a group of hockey players, man. They
They
I
are.
don't know what's going on in Sweden, but they know how to produce them.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, they all play hockey the way it should be played.
You know why? I
They,
think I have a Swedish friend. Women are so annoying in Sweden as it's just good to do anything else besides have to deal with a Swedish woman, from what I understand. And that's coming from Swedish men. I'm not saying it's true, but is Lundqvist's wife Swedish?
I believe so.
Oh, bad move. Well, no, yeah. Well, ask who's the guy that they're holding in London? Julian Assange. Ask him what he thinks of Swedish women. You know,
Jeez.
he doesn't like Swedish women, from what I hear.
I bet. No,
Julian,
I don't think
how'd
he
you like
does.
that Julian Assange reference? I read books.
Yeah, Julian Assange. What do you think about? Well, I'm not going to get into that. I was going to say, what do you
What
think
do I
about
think
him?
about it? Here's the thing. I know he didn't rape that bitch, but you know
Yeah.
what? I hope they send him to London. I hope they send him to Stockholm, and I hope they ship his ass to DC. And that's the way I feel about it. Should they? No, but I would still feel good about it watching him deal with the penal system, and I emphasized penal in the United States. So would it be right? Should if I was an English citizen, I would not want him to go to face this bogus rape charge in Sweden,
Yeah.
because feminism is just completely out of control in Sweden. Completely out of control. I'm not getting into that, and I generally think that he did not make a phone call back after a night of love. I generally believe that. So therefore, I don't think he should face trial.
Wow.
No, I don't. I don't think he did anything wrong. At the same time, he infiltrated our government. He put our guys, especially translators, guys I knew downrange personally, in danger. And I don't care how they get him. I don't care if he didn't rape that girl. And I don't care if the Swedes immediately turn him over to the United States. He gets what's coming to him. Enjoy your bracelet, bitch. And moving on to San Jose.
The Blue Jackets.
Yeah,
Oh wait, we don't even need to touch base with Columbus, I guess.
I know.
I feel so
Well,
bad, man.
you see, they got ripped off the other night against Chicago.
Nah,
Yeah, they apparently I didn't know this rule. I guess there's a whole bunch of new NHL rules. When Crawford touches his glove on the number of the forward that's standing in front of him, screening him, apparently that's goalie interference. And in the new NHL,
wow.
and apparently uh, apparently he I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Columbus could have tied it up with that goal. They waved the goal off, and they moved on. And
Oh wow.
Chicago got very, very lucky through a really, really. The ref saw something that just never happened. And if it was a European soccer game, I would think there was something in, but I just think the ref blew it. I don't know what you saw.
I'm saying this now, and I might regret it later. Like I really I hope there's a way for Columbus, because eventually they're going to move to the East, so I might regret it.
They'll be
But
in the
I really
Barclay
hope
Arena
it's,
before we know it, like every other team we'll try to shove in there.
well,
We didn't even
I
talk
really
about the Islanders going to Brooklyn in a few
who?
years. The Islanders are going to Brooklyn.
The what?
Did you know that? New York Islanders?
Islanders.
The New York Islanders.
Oh,
The Ice.
oh, that's right. There's the Iceland. Oh, the Icelanders.
Yes,
Yes,
there you go.
Steve Summers.
Steve Summers. We're gonna rip. Let's rip off
Well,
Steve Summers. The Icelanders.
because of him, I actually always referred to them as the Icelanders.
Do you know they're going to New York? I mean,
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
You didn't know
Yep.
that. Are they going to still be called the Islanders? You think?
Yeah. From what I understand, they're not changing anything other than the location. What I found funny about this whole thing, though, is there was a getting up in arms about, oh, they're going to move the team to Brooklyn, and then Islander fans will have to travel to Brooklyn from Long. They don't even travel from Long Island to Long Island. What, like, they're not going any. Seriously, no. But seriously, if Ranger fans,
Yeah.
if we can go to watch the Rangers in New Jersey, Long Island,
Yeah.
and Manhattan
Uh-huh.
to watch the Rangers, there's no excuse or reason that
It'll work.
dedicated Islander fans can't go to
Here's
to
the
Brooklyn.
thing. Here's the thing about the Islanders, and I hate the Islanders like I'm supposed to, but they had put one of the best hockey teams together ever, and for that, I mean, I like them to stay alive, and I like the rivalry to stay alive.
Yeah, right.
It's not working in Long Island. It hasn't been working in a very long time. That's really unfortunate, because I would love to see the rivalry continue, and it's still really healthy in a lot of weird ways.
Especially on the ice.
Yeah, it's still really healthy on the ice, but financially, it's not working up there, and I mean, it's practically not New York. It's closer to Boston than it is New York, and I think those Islander fans aren't going to come down, but I think this is a chance to grow a new fan base, and they probably should call them the Brooklyn Islanders, not the Long Island Islanders, or maybe just, I don't know, whatever. I mean, technically, it's still on the island part, Brooklyn, of Long Island, right?
Yeah.
It's just not a part of Long Island that's kind of cut off after Queens, you know?
Yeah, just put a map of Brooklyn on there. Hipsters will love it.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it's a good move because they might be able to build something new, and because it just ain't working up there. And I think anything where they are. And I don't really want them to go away. I kind of like the idea that they're just across the bridge, though. It's just something I like. Something I like about that. I don't know why.
Yeah, it'd be easier for me to go to games.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
I can get to Barclays Center a lot easier than I can get out to Long Island.
Oh yeah.
I've never been to a game in Long Island.
Why would you want to? Who would want to go there? First of all, the good chance of getting your ass kicked. Second of all, it's in Long Island. Nobody wants to go to Long Island if they have to. People in Long Island don't want to go to Long Island. It sucks. Yeah. It's terrible. It's like New Jersey. You think like, wow, I was in New Jersey. Things are really overpopulated. Try Long Island.
Yeah.
You'll hate life. You'll hate the planet. You'll have a new look on life. Let's finish this up, mercifully finish this, Jay.
All right. So where are we? We're Pacific.
Columbus, they're screwed. Moving on to Northwest Division. Vancouver, Colorado, Minnesota, Edmonton, and Calgary. North Stars, don't see much from them. Colorado, Peter Forsberg's not in the team. Vancouver will win the division and blow it in the first round.
Yeah.
Edmonton may surprise. Jerome McGinley doesn't still pay for Calgary, does he?
Yeah, unfortunately. I feel he's one of my favorite players. I mean, talk about a guy who plays hockey the way it should be played. I love everything about him.
Oh, really?
And he's just his career's gonna die there.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck because he's actually, if it wasn't for this lockout, he would have had a chance to have another 30-goal season and continue that streak on to was it 15, I think, straight consecutive seasons of 30 goals, and he could have tied or surpassed what's called Yager and Gartner. I mean, he's still got a couple of seasons to go. I think this would have been his 12th if he got it. But that's impressive though to score that many 30-goal seasons straight.
Underrated player of the post Gretzky era.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Really, the most underrated player. He is really, and I think it's just because he plays in the tundra over there.
Oiler fans are gonna hate hearing that, but he's like Mark Messier type of guy.
Yeah, he
just does everything,
and he's smaller.
Yeah.
And he still could kick your ass.
Yep.
Let me tell you something. You don't think Jerome McGinley can't kick somebody's ass? You go to YouTube. You write Jerome McGinley fights people.
Yeah.
And then come back to me. And if you still think he can't kick, I'll fight you. I'll fight you verbally because I'm old now. I'm getting old and my back hurts.
And he's in Germany, so.
Yeah. You fly your ass over here. You take the train to Wiesbaden station. You get on the number 1. Text me, and I'll be downstairs.
And if you're German and you're listening to this, God bless you. And Tom will easily kick your ass.
Well,
and take your girlfriend.
Stop it. I was thinking about asking my one German friend. I have left because my ex-wife took them all away from me. To listen to the show because he's a big Islander fan, strangely enough.
Wow.
Yeah, that's bizarre. He looked at me, he's like, he's really into hockey, and he does watch the games. And he looks at me, he goes, I'm an Islander fan. You're a Ranger fan. Yeah, they're both from New York. I'm like, and he looks at me like real funny, right? And this guy's a huge soccer fan. So, I mean, I don't know how the Rangers and the Islanders don't like each other, do they? You're like, you hate me right now, right? I'm like, I wouldn't say I hated you, but I just can't imagine that you would pick a team. I mean, I get if you, Penguins, any of the classic teams, why you'd pick Long Island. And I think it's before they had Tavares is where his name was. I don't know why you pick a team like that, but hey, yeah, you get the government you asked for, they say, and well, you get the team you asked for if you're German and don't know anything about hockey. But I don't think he's gonna be listening to the show. Colorado. Colorado. We talked about them. Peter Forsberg's not in the team. I can't pay attention to him.
Landeskog, Kitchener Rangers.
Oh yeah, did you see that hit?
His kids are.
Did you see that hit? Oh god, devastating.
Jeez, I mean, but they got a good young team.
Yeah, I think that's a building team.
Yeah, definitely. I never had anything against them.
No.
In fact, I was always a huge Joe Sakic fan.
Yeah, I know. You love Joe. You had I remember if we were kids, you had the
Northeast
the
jersey.
Northeast jersey. Yeah, but that was.
Yeah.
Did he sign that?
No,
Wouldn't
no,
matter
that
if
was,
he did.
yeah.
Wouldn't matter if he did. Wouldn't change your life one iota.
No.
Oh. If your name was Mike Eruzione and you're hard up on your cash because you didn't have enough money in the envelope, you might have been all right. But no.
And yeah, his kids are probably, like I said earlier, they're probably sell it.
Sell it. Maybe his kids are no good, and he's like, you know what, these bastards, I'm gonna sell this shit before I old enough not to know they sold it under my my act.
Nah, I should apologize. I mean, I don't know anything about Ruzioni.
Yeah, really. And well, it'd be awful.
I don't know.
It'd be awful if he was connected to the mob. No, actually.
Or if he drank a lot, and I'm making fun of him. But telling stupid stories about hockey. But no, I
actually
apologize.
We love Michael Ruzioni, and
yeah,
if he's listening for no other reason than to get angry, we're just goofing, man. I mean, come on, give us a break. And I could care less what the Ruzioni fans think.
That pisses me off, though. The greatest moment in our nation's history as far as sports go is hockey.
Yeah.
And we, as a whole, ignore it.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm starting to... Jay, I have a different idea. I don't want to build the NHL for the future. Bettman did not do a good job. Let's keep the sport to ourselves. If you don't want to be involved in hockey, let's keep it to ourselves. It's like our little indie rock band. It's Nirvana before anybody got Nevermind,
Yep.
You know what? Hey, you know what? I don't want hockey because it's all the fighting. Good. Go away.
I can't follow the puck. Do you follow the ball in baseball?
I can't see the puck. I can't see it.
Can you see the ball in baseball?
Like,
you follow where the camera's going, where the action is. Do you follow the ball in football? Are you watching the guy hold the ball?
Did you ever see a golf fan say that? I can't always see when the guy hits the ball real far. I can't.
Yeah, it's such a lame excuse to continue to be stupid.
And you know what? I don't want people like that. I don't want people like that in my game. Wow.
No, well, that's the thing.
Fan, good. We don't want you. You're not welcome.
Go to a hockey game and you know the person sitting next to you is going to know what the hell they're talking about.
Sure, because it's fun.
Especially if you're sitting next to me and then I correct you. My friend I brought one of my friends from Pittsburgh. He'd never been to a game at the Garden, big Penguin fan before the bandwagon came along.
Oh, yeah?
We went and saw... it was a big game. Avery had 2 goals. He had a fight with Darcy Tucker, 2 of my favorite players. And, he's sitting there. He said it was the best time he ever had a hockey game. I think the Rangers won that game 6-2 or something. And there were people talking about stuff, and they knew what they were talking about around us, but I corrected them because I'm an anal retentive asshole when it comes to hockey. And the guy is just like, well, I was just trying to make a point. That's all. And my friend's like, just fucking ignore him. He's like a fucking encyclopedia. Just forget he said anything. So, and these guys, they knew what they were talking about. They messed up on like one minor thing. And I'm like, oh no, that wasn't him.
Yeah.
That was Steve Larmer. Fuck, who was on the line with them?
I would have. I actually. If I had $50 right now and I could get in a time machine, I would just like to watch that moment. And as soon as I saw it, I would be beamed back to my seat. I'd pay $50 for that, just to let you know. Hey, we got to end this show, Myler.
Okay, yeah, okay.
All right. The Pacific, San Jose, Anaheim, the Mighty Ducks, Dallas, Los Angeles, and Phoenix.
Oh God, the Kings are killing me.
Yeah.
And I lived in Los Angeles for 6 months. That got me more into the Kings. And
somebody say 1995 Rangers with the Los Angeles Kings.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It really looks what's going on over there. Listen.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were gonna. They've got depth everywhere. There's really no problems. I don't understand what's going on.
I understand exactly what's going on over there, and I'm going to correct you. Here's the problem: they have not gotten used to. The problem is when you have that cup, you have a target on your back, and everybody says that, but when they actually win the damn thing, they don't go out and play like it because deep down they really don't believe it. I'm not sure I believe it, but I believe it.
No, it's true.
Yeah, and they're not used to it, and they're going to have to adjust. And I've said this jokingly on Facebook before, but really not. I have to question their cardio in the offseason. And I think generally, when we look back at the Stanley Cup winner of 2013, you're going to find they had some kind of cardiovascular program. And you're going to find out that they were doing it, maybe not by the team, but on their own. Before during the lockout, and I really wonder if that's a cardio problem, and not realizing that everybody wants a piece of your ass.
Yep.
And not to mention the fact, hey, Rangers had a lot of depth in '95 too, so get used to it, boys. Hey, quickly get it together, or this could be a very ugly season for you. And it would be a riot for me. I mean,
I actually didn't. I thought this shortened season would actually help them.
Sure, because they're so young. I mean, it's a young team.
I mean, they've got so much depth. My God, Mike Richards. Here's how much I love Mike Richards.
How much do you love
right? I actually thought about getting a fucking Flyers jersey with Mike Richards on it. They went, oh God. He's one of those guys, just a perfect hockey player in my mind.
The show they put on last year was just absolutely beautiful. Dave praised it relentlessly, and it was well deserved. And they swept their first round, correct?
Yeah,
that's the teams to watch for, because unlike the Rangers, you don't win the cup when you have to.
No. I knew it was the game the Rangers play. They got beat up.
But you know what? They probably did better than they should have.
Yeah.
They probably did better. Looking back, they did better. Hey guys, get your shit together in Los Angeles. You know what the other problem is? I just thought of this. Your Stanley Cup party is like 3 or 4 months longer. That might be the problem there,
Longer hangover.
Yeah, that's because Quick looks like he has a hangover.
Yeah.
Quick looks like he just got called up.
Yeah, he's I don't know. It's just not.
San Jose. Patrick what the hell is his name? Marleau. Well, he's on fire, but you have a special opinion about him, though, from what I understand.
I don't think he's I think like the way Mike Green is, I think there's certain players, sure, they have skill and they're talented and they can play well. I don't think he's got that extra oomph to put them, put himself and the team over the top. I think Joe Thornton's enough. I think that's what they're full of. They're full of guys who just don't have that extra.
Yeah.
And the Capitals are similar, but with less talent right now. And all they have to put them over the top is Alexander Ovechkin. And,
who's not in a system.
He's the only guy that can actually.
Who's not in a system. Sorry to interrupted you, but he's not in a system where it seems like he can thrive.
Yeah.
Even under Dale Hunter, or under this guy, whoever the hell his name is. I don't pay attention to.
Oates.
Oh, well, Adam Oates.
But he's like Mike Green.
You know what Adam Oates should do? Adam Oates should give everybody a really flat stick like he played with. And I think that would change everything. Herb on the stick on the Washington Capitals.
Adam Oates, the Hole and Oates line.
The Hole and Oates line. The Hole and Oates. Hey, you gotta admit. I mean, with the exception of Gretzky, I don't think anybody passed like Oates. Nobody passed.
No.
The exception of Gretzky, who was
Crosby's a hell of a passer.
Yeah.
Getzlaf was he had a pretty good passing game for a while.
Yeah.
But
no, that's why Crosby probably has as many points as he does, because he has somebody to pass to over there. In the first couple seasons, he didn't. Screw Crosby. I had enough of him. Phoenix. I got them winning the division.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, I know. And they won't shake anybody's hands, no matter how many.
What a bunch of fucking babies. My God. And anytime Shane Doan confronts people, he confronts Brown about how he's playing. How about you go confront your own fucking players in the locker room of the way Phoenix played throughout the playoffs? My God.
Does Mark Messier pick the Mark Messier award before the playoffs are over? He must.
Yeah, he must have.
He must have. Because he could have made an argument that he was eligible for it. But I would have been embarrassed to give it to him after his behavior. Because Mark Messier, if he got every tooth knocked out in his mouth, much less took a clean check, he would have shook your hand. Because he's a real man, and you're a Generation Y pissant. Punk. Shake somebody's hand. Don't act like such a punk. And you should turn over. You know what he should have done? The only way you get Shane Doan respected, when he got that award last year, if he stood up and said, I don't deserve this award because of my behavior on the ice the night that I was eliminated against the Los Angeles Kings. I don't deserve this great award, and I apologize, Mr. Messier, and I apologize to the fans Phoenix and NHL fans, I can't accept this award because of my behavior, but I'm going to try to like hell to win it next year. But they don't make people like that. And Shane Doan, you're not one of those people.
Right.
So fuck off. All right, moving on.
Fuck you, Shane Doan.
Fuck you.
Phoenix. I'm glad you're not a Ranger.
Shake somebody's hands. God damn. Oh, I wonder why Los Angeles went on to win the cup. Did it have something to do with character?
Dustin fucking Brown. I love everything about that guy.
I like
He's just a miserable prick to play against.
Yeah,
I think he draws more penalties than any other forward.
I like the fact that he got goofed on by Avery.
Sean Avery. Got him. He goofed on his wife too.
I know. It's horrible. Why? Because he was only 18 at the time. He couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, but you know what? Dustin Brown's got a Stanley Cup. He's got a wife and 2 children. Yeah. And he's the captain of a fucking hockey team. What's Sean Avery doing right now?
Sean Avery is not in GQ magazine like he thought. You know what Sean Avery is doing? He's got a Netflix, and it runs The Rocket 24/7. And he's got a TV that just runs The Rocket 24/7. That's what Sean Avery does.
Sean Avery's busy watching Dustin Brown fucking and you know what we're doing? We're making fun of Sean Avery.
Yeah.
Who's sitting there with millions of dollars.
Sure.
So
without a cup. But yeah. I guess we lost that argument. Sean, you got it. You win again.
Yeah, you win, Sean.
But you didn't beat Dustin Brown, so go for it.
Actually, I'm going to win because I'm going to walk away from Sean Avery. I'm not going to say anything.
He was a lot of fun to have. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, I loved it. I have a Sean Avery jersey. I loved him when he was a King. I was extremely excited to get him. Yeah. I didn't think it was the right guy.
I got to be honest. He helped win a series for them. He got under Uncle Daddy's nerves. You know?
And man, he could tear into Kovalchuk like I've never seen. Like I don't know what he says to Kovalchuk, but my God, he drive him out of his fucking mind. Like Kovalchuk would get on the ice and he wouldn't think of anything but Sean Avery. It's like that's
Sean Avery had the gift of gab. You know why I think Sean Avery is so successful? There's a reason Sean Avery was so successful because he didn't come up with the typical stuff. He I fucked your mom and I had your girlfriend and your wife's fat and oh my God, your kid's ugly. That's probably the normal NHL stuff they use. Sean Avery talks to people, even though he's a dumb hockey player from Canada, like he's like the rich kid.
Yeah.
And that he's talking down to you. And I think he's able to do that because he has such a bizarre, but you never seen him.
Yeah, look at the way he looks at players.
The way he looks at people.
Who the fuck are you?
He talks like a spoiled, rotten rich kid.
Yeah.
You know, you'll never be as rich as my dad. You know, I mean, stuff like that, and it just drives these guys that grew up in housing projects in Russia completely insane. You know.
Yeah, right.
Anaheim, I don't see doing much. Dallas, I like the way Letton's playing. It's gonna be San Jose and Phoenix. It's gonna be dogfight between. I got Los Angeles finishing third. I don't think they're ready, and it's just basically by the performance. They'll make the playoffs. I think San Jose's they're definitely gonna be difficult to deal with, and Phoenix will be in there too.
I don't know about Anaheim. They got some talent, but they I think this is a contract year for Getzlaff, so some players turn in.
We'll put
a contract year.
We'll put them in our sleeper column.
Yeah.
We'll put them in our sleeper column.
Kick its ass, man.
I think it's time to end this. Mercer, did we go 2 hours?
No, I think we were talking a little bit before that.
Were you?
Before the recording started.
It feels like 2 hours. It feels like.
I think we're closing in on it.
I got to do a few edits because a lot of mistakes. I mean, it's the first. We're like the Rangers, getting back on the, getting them back on the wagon. It's not that easy. We're like the Kings.
We suck that bad.
No, I think I think we got strong as it went on. I think it was a little tight at first, but strong. I mean, we're both like, we're back in the action. We're getting back in there.
Right.
You're the rook on the team.
Yeah.
You performed. You started off strong, and then you ended up like Kreider.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
You're the Kreider of. My girlfriend always likes to say his name is German. She always reminds me of that. Yes, he's the only one in the country with a German name.
Yeah, tell her how obnoxious my last name is.
Is your name German?
Yeah, Lech.
I think I
L-E-
asked her and she said it wasn't.
No, Letsch. I'm actually
Did-
not nothing to be proud of, but we
Hey, you
were
know what
at
though?
the Holocaust
Here's a weird
Museum.
thing.
And
Here's a
there
weird
was,
thing. Before we go into plugs, there is a bunch of names over here that I felt like these guys come back. Hey, I'm American. I'm German American, and Germans are like, well, what is your family name? And they'll tell them, and the Germans will look at them and go, you know. And there was one particular girl who did this from Pennsylvania, which is like the German capital of America.
yeah.
And I looked up her name, and she was dead right, and they were wrong. There are so many names that have actually left the country permanently. That they just don't have them here anymore.
That's weird.
It's strange, yeah, because entire families have left and moved on.
It's
Weird.
like I never understand how names work like that. Like you have names that are predominantly like like black people will have a last name, and it's like, well, what happened to all the white people with that last name? And it's like,
They took it,
yeah,
and you know what? Considering the way they were treated all those
yeah.
years ago, maybe they should keep a few white people's names. So I don't gotta
No, I'm not saying. It's just kind of weird how that.
how the whole name thing works.
Yeah, it's strange.
It had something to do with your father. That's all I know.
Yeah,
Jay, do you have any plugs?
I'd like to plug my wife. It's been a week, and oh wait, no. Other than that, no. My Twitter handle, Jay of the Dead, at at Jay of the Dead.
Will you have long, drawn out conversations about horror movies?
Yeah, I'll bore you to death on there.
Yeah. So,
And I harass Rob Delaney,
who's Rob?
comedian.
Oh.
Not funny at all, but people love him.
Does he ever write back to you?
No, he favorites everything that I say. Because I noticed one time I said that I didn't understand why people thought he was funny, but I didn't reply to him saying this.
Yeah.
And he just favorited it. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's like an egomaniac. He's like searching his own name on Twitter. He's paranoid.
I gotta look up Rob. You're a big Twitter guy, right?
Yeah.
So you'll answer any kind of like hate mail, probably more than likely.
Yeah, I love hate mail, man. I retweet. If you hate me, I love it. I think it's hilarious.
Apparently, Rob Delaney does too.
Yeah, I guess so. But he's painfully unfunny.
Like, what has he done?
Oh god, I'm gonna look him up on.
No, don't bother looking. Put the fucking thing away. I told you not to type. So, Jay of the Dead, do you have any other plugs? You have any other plugs? Are you still looking up Rob? Please don't. Please don't. Thank you. Please don't. I got plugs. First of all, johnfreemanmusic.com, johnfreemanmusic.com. The music you're listening to right now is, of course, from my personal friend, childhood friend, John Freeman. And he lives in Woodbridge, New Jersey. And he can, if you want to start a podcast that has really bitchin' music like this. You like this music, Jay?
What, the music that plays after the show?
Yeah, like the music that's playing right now.
Isn't it like, yeah.
You like it? All right, that's great.
You
Well,
wanna-
if you want to like,
You want to edit that?
you're a brilliant promoter, by the way. Thanks.
Start shout out again.
Yeah.
Seriously.
John Freeman, he can produce all sorts of wonderful music. He's a fantastic guitar player, fantastic bass player, knows his way around all sorts of musical engineering stuff and jargon that I can only play guitar. So, I mean, the rest of the stuff I don't really understand. I can't even read music, but I'm probably better than you on guitar.
I know it.
What's up?
I know the music and I love it.
You love there you go. And currently, it's got the 4-star approval of Jersey Jason Lech for being top music website on the tri-state area. So,
Yes.
yeah, whatever.
Better than the Misfits.
What? The Misfits? Yes.
Much better.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. What's your favorite Misfits song?
We were actually, my favorite Astro Zombies, I guess.
I like Hybrid Moments. I think it's my favorite song by them.
Yeah, it's good too.
Good song. I wonder if anybody outside the East Coast and some snot-nosed punk rock hipster knows what we're talking about in those songs.
Yeah, they, in California, they're all into that.
The Misfits are the greatest, one of the great bands. And Glenn Danzig, New Jersey resident. JohnFreeMusic.com. I want you to pay attention, and I'll be putting Dave's Twitter account at the bottom. He's coming out with a new sports show. I don't know. He's given me the name of it. Should I announce it? You think I got the entitlement to do that, Jay, in your estimation?
If he gave you permission.
He didn't give me
yeah.
permission. I was just gonna do it and hope that it was okay with him.
Oh shit! I stepped on something else, didn't I?
No, you're fine. I was just hoping you'd answer the question. I don't know. You think I should do it?
Go
for it.
I don't know. I don't know how Dave is. Is he personal? Is he like, maybe he wants to.
I don't want to name it because maybe he wants to make an announcement. I think that's the problem, you know. Dave has a new sports show. It's obviously not Wednesday. We got the new Jersey Jason Les taking over. We're going to be rotating hosts and things like that. Dave will be back one day, as Jason will be back one day, hopefully, if he's not embarrassed after the damn thing's over. But Dave, he's really busy with some other stuff right now. I know he's working on it. He talks about it every day, and he'll be doing like a sports show that includes like even like sports entertainment, you know, like wrestling, poker, like a real well-rounded sports show, like oddball stuff as well as the mainstream sports. And he's gonna be letting us know what to do with that. I'll put his Twitter account if you'd be interested in that, or just go listen to some classic Dead on Dave moments on last year's playoff episodes of Shop from Point. Oh, Jesus Christ. I had all this stuff to freaking plug. I'm going to plug myself. I'm Jersey Ghosts, plural, at Twitter. I really got to change that Twitter handle. And I also got a really neat Facebook page called Tommy C's Podcast and other crap, where you can all see my no talent projects come out. And you can, I don't know, send me nasty mail. I don't know. What's that guy's name? Delaney?
Yeah, God.
And I don't know, you can I'll favorite. I mean, tell me call me names and I'll favorite your tweets. If you want to check out our Facebook page, or my Facebook page for my project, it's Tommy C's Podcast and other crap. And you'll be able to catch these links right below, whether it's be Automatic or YouTube and things of that nature. I think that's it, buddy. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Are you in trouble with your wife right now or something like that?
No, she's. I just heard my cell phone and she's probably gonna.
What does she think of this whole thing? Because I know you're a new father. What does she think of this whole thing? Did she really
this show
to your idiot friends across the ocean, or?
That's probably what she thinks. She's a huge hockey
It's
fan,
gonna be like you're gonna be out with your friends one night and a couple drinks. He goes, "Oh, did you hear? Jay's on a radio show."
Probably. That's my fault. Probably.
Hey.
She's a big hockey fan. The Rangers are the.
Can I put a picture of you guys up too during this broadcast? Or would you rather not?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. No, it's fine. Yeah, no. We actually put on. I had my Matthew Barman jersey on when we cut the cake cutting ceremony. We had they looked like little bobbleheads of us on top of the cake wearing our hockey jerseys. Our daughter came home from the hospital in a Rangers jersey. So that was her take home.
So you just have managed to dodge serious mental health most of your life, is what you're telling me.
With her, yeah. She's great.
But hey, I like her already. I get away with murder over here too. You imagine what my girlfriend says.
Yeah,
it's like, does your boyfriend do some podcast? And you know what she would say proudly? 9. That would be bad.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Hell, 9.
9. Next question. I think that would be something to it. I am so glad her parents don't speak English. Yeah, this is fantastic. Hey, listen, everybody. Hey, Jason, thank you very much. Great show. Really appreciate you having you on. And I hope we can get you back soon as possible.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you have fun? Did you have fun?
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. I think it's going to be really great. Hey, thank you, everybody out there in hockey land and what have you. And we'll leave you like Shane Doan left Dustin Brown. Goodbye, fuckface. See ya.